Hi, good evening, dear friends. This is Efrat, and tonight I'm not in Jerusalem. Actually, Helen and me at Utah's in Germany, and it's very interesting to join to connect the Middle East Vigil not from the center but from the outside. It gives a different point of view and experience. For the few times I was talking about the gap and separation in Israel between the government and most of the people, the civilian. And there is a new angle, very significant and important angle, just from the last days, while a group of Air Force teams officer signed a petition where they demands to bring back the hostages and stop the war. The army got this act very surprisingly, and the chief commander of the Air Force threatened to fire them, but he didn't up till now. What they said in this petition is, and important to say that nearly 100,000 people signed this petition, this commander.
90, how much?
Thousand officers from the Air Force signed this petition. And they say the continuation of the war does not contribute to each one of the stated goals of this war, and it will cause the death of soldiers, hostages, and innocent civilians. And they said every minute of hesitation is disgrace. Very strong words coming from army people. The threat of the chief commander of the Air Force actually bring like a boomerang reaction, while many other units from the army as well as civilian organization joined this petition. And today it stands of 96,000 people who signed this petition, and which are joined to 29 different organizations, civilian and army. Like the civilian organization are doctors, artists, psychiatrists, etc. It's important to just to manage this special complex state of being a reserve soldier in Israel. From one side, you are a civilian who is as well soldier, and you are a soldier which in the same time you are civilian. It brings those people to a conflict or dilemma, because as being a soldier, they are part of the system and they are obeying the orders and the mission that they got. And as being a civilian, they're holding their personal civilian values, which are in this case are in contradiction. So it's put them in a very courageous and special stage. And maybe it can show us that this rising, strong, important voice of holding human values are still stabilizing and maybe raising more up in Israel. Thank you. To you, Helen.
Hello, also from Germany. Thank you, Efrat. I would like to go back to Syria as part of the Middle East, which is in a big turmoil. I heard a debate in a forum, which is the Antalya Diplomacy Forum yesterday, where the civil war in Syria was discussed. And I would like to quote what the Syrian participants said at the end of the session. So it's a quote, not 100% exactly his words, but it is. He says like this: since the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, the vacuum that has been created led to dictatorship, led to international interference in our land, to fragmentation into artificial boundaries and borders. It led to artificial ideologies that were never brought from within the soil of this earth. What we have gone through is humiliation. And if we have to move forward to our own destiny, we have to detoxify our brains from being just followers of the Western and international powers. And we have to stop seeking solutions from outside of us. This region has resilience, and this resilience has civilizational depth. This region will eventually regain its destiny. And what we will be seeing is that the coming generations who are already aware of what has been done to their forefathers will not accept to continue living in this humiliating dominance. So Syria will be stabilized by the people of Syria. The people are creative. This is a country where all civilizations of this part of the world have met. It's a country built by the most important ideologies, religions, and thoughts and trends of history in the region. So it is going to own its own destiny, as well as the whole region. And when this happens, a new order is going to be created in the area. Yeah, so when I heard this, I had a breath of fresh air. And it confirms that by using our own light, we become casual.
Causal.
Causal. Casual? What did I say?
Causal.
Causal. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, you too. It's a very special opportunity for us, the three of us here, to be together physically. Yeah, this civilizational depth that you mentioned, it's quite a concept to internalize. Civilizational depth. Yeah. Okay. I want to stress again, to bring our awareness again to the fact that what is happening in the Middle East is not only a regional issue, it's a world issue, very complex one. And so the work with it requires forces on a planetary and perhaps extraplanetary scale. It requires the employment of will, love, and light together, bringing together the forces of Shambhala, hierarchy, and humanity. So we have recently adopted this formula of the invocation of the Lords of Liberation that bring these aspects together into one alignment. so to speak, one Christ Avenue, if you can use this term, a channel for the energy of the saving force to come down right through to the present reality, into the ground. Our own task as humanity, as representatives of humanity, is to work with light, with soul light. This is closing the circuit. The will, the love, and humanity brings the light, and we have to step into this function, as you said, Helen, that employing our own light makes us causal. Yeah. So by this, we close the circuit and enable the saving force to flow all the way through. Okay, so let's do that. Settling into our physical body and into our inner silence. Getting in touch with our heart. Tuned to impersonal, all-embracing love. Focusing our awareness in the center of the head. Standing as a conscious soul in incarnation. Joining now our hearts in the fiery will to love. Joining our minds into a unified telepathic lighted field. Standing as souls in communion with all soul-guided servers around the planet. Ajna center of the planet. And as such, let us establish energetic relationship with the higher co-workers who guide this work, human and Deva. And taking now up our post at the midway point between the higher forces and humanity. Standing calm, intent, in peace commanding presence. And focusing now on the Middle East, observing this planetary vortex starting with the mental plane, the highly charged global, regional, and local thought forms and interests and forces in dynamic tension. Get a sense of this tension, of this rubbing against each other, colliding, clashing mental energies. That arouse the emotional plane of the area into intense activity. Becoming a huge point of inflammation in the emotional body of the planet. And erupting as physical violence again and again in these different areas of the Middle East. And from our midway point, we just witness this volatile situation, knowing that this is the dynamics of unredeemed human patterns clashing violently in this area, in this solar plexus cauldron. And now, as we hold this situation, we also, from our midway point, turn our eyes now upwards towards the divine plan, towards the intended design for the Middle East. What is it that is trying to work itself out here? Perhaps reflecting for a moment on this civilizational depth, sense of identity, see if we can sense the vibration of a redeemed condition, of the intended design, even if we can't figure it out yet in our minds, we can sense the vibration of it. Let us hold this vibration, letting it gain substance in our group field. Like a redeeming, saving force And bringing it now into relation with the vibration of the condition on the ground, bringing these two vibrations into relation. The redeemed condition and the present condition. And sense a magnetic electrical relationship being set up between them. Visualizing energies flowing as if between two electrical poles. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental sphere of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the astral plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring through into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East, penetrating into the earth, impacting the buried ancient evil. And let us invoke the Lords of Liberation for this planetary work. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to humanity. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth, the end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. Let us now anchor this impact in the Middle East through the sound of the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם, ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מן המרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז, אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור, אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب في قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندهم بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به بالشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.